Hey guys, Thunder E here, and we are recording with both the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and we're using the front-facing camera to start off this video. So we're going to be comparing photos and videos from both devices, as well as also listening to the microphone and looking at some features to see what we actually get. So I'm walking with the front-facing camera. I am going to switch over to the rear camera, and we'll check out other features, night mode, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and just enjoy this wonderful video. And now we are shooting with the rear cameras, 4K 60 as well, with both, just walking around the path, giving you an idea of what both cameras can do, and of course the microphones as well. Looking at some stabilization, seeing how well it stabilizes. This is good, it's better. I'm picking up my walking pace a little bit. It was a bit slower initially. Now I'm giving standard walking pace, if you will. And then I'm going to go ahead and pan across the city. So stabilization on both cameras looks pretty solid, and I think you will enjoy using either for recording video, but the dynamic range on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is just a little bit better than what we have on the S20 Ultra, especially just looking at the cloud texture, the grass in front. Pretty nice stuff. Now both shoot at 8K and 8K 24 frames per second. Honestly, you can't really tell the difference between both devices shooting at 8K. I have them side by side here, so you get an idea of what 8K video capture will look like on this device. But it's pretty solid overall. It's something you want to do stationary on a tripod, not something you're going to be freehanding like I am right now. You're not going to get the best quality. You can definitely check out Danny Wingett's video samples from this device. Really showcases it to its best level. So looking at SuperSteady videos, they look really similar. Now I suggest you look at one video first before you look at the other, so you don't get confused or dizzy or anything like that. But I'll say it's pretty similar, and technology has stayed the same. It works really well in good lighting situations, although the dynamic range on the Note 20 Ultra really stands out, especially when you're recording to the sun and things like that. Now autofocus was a big issue with the S20 Ultra, and you can see here it's been improved. There is better autofocus speed, but you can still see some of that delay there, especially transitioning between the back of the phone to the grass or the ground. Some of that delay is there now. As we move over to the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which has that laser focus, it's a bit faster. It's actually much faster, and you can see how fast the autofocus is, just transitioning from grass to device and things like that. So that's actually pretty nice to see. Now taking a look at some front-facing photos, so we've got the S20 Ultra and the Note 20 Ultra here. This image, I kind of like the Note 20 Ultra more. My skin tone is closer to the match. The shirts are the same colors. The colors for everything else on these photos are what it is in real life. Now looking at my girl here, this is where the skin color differences kind of point out. So the S20 Ultra has a closer skin tone to what her natural skin tone is compared to the Note 20 Ultra, which is just a bit off, although her face looks much whiter or much lighter in complexion on the Note 20 Ultra. Same again in this photo, although her hair color is the same, that matches pretty well. The top is the colors also matches, but her skin tone is slightly better on the S20 Ultra than the Note 20 Ultra. Now when we move over to the rear camera, now this is where things flip around. This is a portrait shot, and the skin tone is more correct on the Note 20 Ultra than the S20 Ultra. S20 Ultra adds a little bit more yellow tint to it, but again, I do like the bokeh at the back. Things look pretty nice. Now this is another shot here where You can see they're kind of similar, but again, the skin tone on the Note 20 Ultra is closer to what we have. The bokeh is also pretty solid all the way through for this shot. Now this one, it was a little bit different. Now this wasn't a portrait shot, but you can see the softening on the top of her head compared to the S20 Ultra photo, which surprisingly just looks more natural and realistic than the Note 20 Ultra photo. Now, of course, we had to throw in a food shot here, a burger. They both look really similar. You've got that natural bokeh effect because, of course, of the 108 megapixel camera, but the bacon is a little bit more contrasty, and the color of the bacon is correct on the Note 20 Ultra. So the Note 20 Ultra has a more accurate image color, if you will, overall. Now, here is a old telephone booth turned into an ATM machine, and this is just a standard shot, and you can see the colors look good, everything looks nice, pretty solid dynamic range on both images, especially for this shot composition. Then we're going to move into a 5x zoom, where to me here the S20 Ultra feels a little bit sharper, or at least the colors also come out a bit bolder, while the Note 20 Ultra has a much more flatter color tone, which is actually correct for this image, but again, both of them still look really good. Now, the very next image we jump to, this is an ultra wide shot. This is from my rooftop in Brooklyn here. This is where the dynamic range on the Note 20 Ultra really stands out. It was a cloudy day, there was some light coming in. As you look at the S20 Ultra image, the center building, which is like this brown brick building, is more contrasty, darker compared to the Note 20 Ultra, where that image is actually closer to the color of what you have with that building. Also, there's the images around. Now, we know this devices have zooms on there, so we went over and jumped into a 5x zoom, and you can see again the color representation of the green building in the back is pretty solid, while it's much lighter on the S20 Ultra. Again, you can even just compare the contrast on the buildings around, but again, you're looking at some of that dynamic range come to play. Look at the sky as well. In both images, you see there's just more composition on the Note 20 Ultra. Now, as we move into 10x zoom, which is probably just the two best usable zooms in this device, is 5 and 10. The rest is really just you just zoom in for the fun of it. The Note 20 Ultra again has better color composition compared to the S20 Ultra, but again, still solid images, and also just the contrast all around on the Note 20 Ultra looks good. Now, moving on to nighttime video. So this is where again we've got the bigger megapixel sensor on the S20 Ultra, and you can see the S20 Ultra image looks just a little bit more brighter than the Note 20 Ultra. That was from coming from a much darker environment and walking into a light source, recording in 4K 60. The S20 Ultra image just looks better to me here, and also there's pretty solid stabilization. Now, the rear camera, we're looking at 4K 60, and you can see it's got the same wobble effect. Again, I'm walking on a deliberate pace, but the images look pretty nice and sharp. It's not as grainy as I thought it would be, so I do like it, but again, it's a bit wobbly, trying to compensate, I believe, at night. So solid images overall. Now, looking at some selfie low light photos here, we've got the S20 Ultra bringing that brightness up with this shot, but the Note 20 Ultra gives me more detail and is a bit more closer, at least to my skin tone and this representation. Now, this next image, I just want to show you how it is taken without any low light modes. It's pretty dark. It's on my roof. There's really no lights around me whatsoever. Take a look at what we see here. The Note 20 Ultra image is much sharper. That's my red t-shirt. You can see the yellow breaking in. It looks pretty sharp. You can clearly see the Galaxy Buds. You can even see some more detail on my face compared to the S20 Ultra, where it's really soft. It still brightens up the image, but the Note 20 Ultra image really stands out here. Definitely like what I've seen with the Note 20 Ultra, especially in low light situations. Here's another shot again. poor lighting, not much, just giving you a shot without the low light camera mode. And then when we move over, you can see here again the Note 20 Ultra. You can see more of my shirt. It's an Iron Man shirt, more details in my face, less softness around. Also, you can see more of the color of the building coming up, as opposed to the S20 Ultra, where the image is really soft and also a bit shaky because you have to hold it for a much longer period of time to get that. Now we look at some landmarks here, and you can see the Note 20 Ultra image. It feels a little bit sharper, and also is taking in less of that yellow or hue lights, if you will. So compared to the S20 Ultra, where you can see the lighting around the car is taking more yellow from the building across. Both images are nice, but I think the Note 20 Ultra is trying to clean it up a little bit more. Now we go into the ultra wide shot again. You can see more of that yellow lighting coming from the right hand side into the image for the Galaxy S20 Ultra, which kind of muddles it a little bit for me, and the distortion is a little bit more pronounced compared to the Note 20 Ultra here, which just feels a little bit more balanced in terms of that bringing in that yellow light in from the yellow light source. So this next image is of the Brooklyn Bridge. I do like this image quite a bit, but when you look at both images here, the Note 20 Ultra image is brighter, as you can clearly see, but I do like the image from the S20 Ultra. Thus the darker tones really sets the contrast for me here in this image. But again, both images look good, but again, my preferred image here is from the S20 Ultra. Now here's one where the Note 20 Ultra really shines in low light conditions. Looking at both images of the car, the Note 20 Ultra just highlights the car, details of the brick behind. Just the car looks more visible and clear compared to the S20 Ultra. Now this is an image I had posted online earlier in the week, and you can clearly see the Note 20 Ultra just highlights more. You can see more of the surroundings, you can see more of the grass in front of us compared to the S20 Ultra, where it's much fuzzier and kind of just like a black speck. And again, just a bright and cleaner image from the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Now this is the ultra wide camera from both of the devices, and here the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra again does a better job at brightening up the image, showing more detail. So if you look right after the first stool or white stool, you can't see anything in front of you with in the Galaxy S20 Ultra image. With the Note 20 Ultra image, it's much clearer and much sharper. Now this is a really fun image that I took. This is in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. Both images look really good, and I like what I see from both of them. I would say the slight edge here goes to the Note 20 Ultra just because of the lighting right in front. You can see more of the fence and all that fun stuff, but both images look really solid. Now some indoor nighttime shots. This is at a bar, just picking up a drink. Both images look nice from the Note 20 Ultra and the Galaxy S20 Ultra. I think this is where these cameras really excel in these kind of settings that a lot of people are using low light photography. So solid images. Now here's an ultra wide shot here. Again, they look kind of similar to me. They look also pretty sharp and clear. I'll say maybe slightly sharper on the Galaxy S20 Ultra here, but I think both images look really good. I like the adjustment to all the different colors, from the drinks to the lighting to the light source on the left hand side. Comes out pretty well in this image. So we go into a standard shot here. Again, both images look really good. You can see everything quite clearly. And also the separation of the different lights come out pretty well in both photos. So really solid stuff again from both the Note 20 Ultra and the Galaxy S20 Ultra. So now we move into here our 5x zoom, and you can see the Note 20 Ultra image is much sharper. Mind you, I was not free holding this. I was actually placed this on a stand and I took a photo. The S20 Ultra image is just a little bit fuzzy, just a smidge. But when we go into 10x zoom, this is where the Note 20 Ultra image really stands out. Trust me, I tried to take that image on the right with the S20 Ultra multiple times. It came out the same way each time, even though it was placed on a table, had a stand, and I just pressed the button. The Note 20 Ultra image looks absolutely astounding. 10x zoom, indoors, low light setting. Now here's just one more image, outdoor setting, and you can see both images look really good. What you notice in the Note 20 Ultra is really important is to look at the buildings at the back. It's a bit brighter and clearer with those buildings, although the lights tend to shimmer a bit more as compared to the S20 Ultra image, but both images are solid overall. So when you look at both devices, some images look really close, and there are also some differences as well. Now, just kick off with the negatives that we've seen. I think the Note 20 Ultra would have benefited from using the same camera sensor for the front-facing camera as the S20 Ultra. The front-facing camera is solid, it's really close, but I think whatever algorithms you're using, that sensor will actually have benefited them much more. Now, what I do like with the Note 20 Ultra is that the low light photography is absolutely solid. And in some cases, you can see it's drastically better than what you get with the Galaxy S20 Ultra. So that's a huge improvement. The video quality is also improved. The microphone has slight benefits over as well. And I'm glad they went away from the 100x zoom and keeping it at 50. 5 and 10x zoom are outstanding on this phone, especially in low light situations as well. So you get to see that there. And I do like the color size, even though there's some times where it kind of goes off. Dynamic range is also pretty solid on this device. If you were to ask me who has the better camera, I would say it's the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. It's improved, and it should be. I'm glad it has a better camera over the S20 Ultra, because you don't want the newer device to have a camera that is not as good as the device that came out earlier. So there you have it, guys. If you have any questions or any comments, let me know. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.